All right, thanks, guys. We are currently 7-2 in our last 9 premium picks on patreon.com/brockpage. We're also a perfect 4-0 in our last 4 daily best plays on that site. And we're 5-3 in our last 8 daily double picks on that site as well. Guys, packages begin at just $1.99 per month on that website. Link for that site is in the description section below. That is patreon.com/brockpage. All right, we got ourselves a very modified slate of NBA action here today, but there are some very, very good contests. So let's go ahead and begin. And we're going to start off with not so good of a contest, but we do have some good ones here coming up, so just bear with me. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive into the Utah Jazz taking on the Hawks, 7:30 Eastern tip-off in Atlanta. The Jazz are the 6.5-point favorite on the road, total at 224 and a hook. We saw a half-a-point move toward Utah and movement upward on the total. The Jazz open as the 6-point favorite, up to -6.5. Total open 223, up to 224 and a hook. 69% are leaning Utah, 56% shaded toward the under. Right now the Hawks are plus 225 on the money line. Now Atlanta's just 6-22 straight up overall for the year. They've also dropped 8 out of their last 10 games. They rank in the bottom 10 in scoring, bottom 10 in offensive field goal percentage. They're in last place in the Southeast Division, 14 games back of the division lead already. They also rank dead last in offensive three-point percentage, bottom 3 in offensive rebounding. A couple more things to add about Atlanta as we continue to just crap all over them. They're just 3-10 straight up at home, 2-5 against the spread in their last 7. They rank in the bottom 3 in points allowed, bottom 3 in defensive field goal percentage. Now the Jazz on the other side, 4-1 straight up in their last 5. They also rank first in offensive three-point percentage. They're 16-11 straight up for the year. Second place in the Northwest Division, just 2.5 games back of the division lead. Donovan Mitchell's averaging 25 points a game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Bojan Bogdanovic, 21 points a game, 4 rebounds. And Rudy Gobert, he's bringing down 14 rebounds a game. He's also averaging 15 points per contest for the Jazz. Utah ranks top 10 in points allowed, top 10 in offensive rebounding. They're 14-5 straight up when favored, and they're allowing just 106 points per contest. Now, conversely, Utah's 8-5 to the under when traveling. No surprises there. Atlanta 2-1 to the under in their last 3 themselves. 8-5 to the under at home. I'm going to lean toward the road chalk in this one. Give me Utah -6.5 and the under 224.5 in that game. And let's go ahead and dive into our next matchup. This is kind of the game we're all looking forward to, even though we do have another good one at the end of the night. But anyway, let's take a look at the Lakers taking on the Bucks. 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Milwaukee. Now the Bucks are -4.5 at home, total at 225. We saw a half a point fade of Milwaukee and movement downward on the total. The Bucks open as the 5-point favorite, down to -4.5. Total open 226.5, down to 225 even. 63% are leaning Lakers, 69% shaded toward the over. Right now, Los Angeles is plus 155 on the money line. Now, the Lakers have really struggled against the point spread as of late. They failed to cover the spread in their last 3 straight. They're also just 8-8 against the spread when traveling this year. They rank in the bottom 3 in free throw percentage. And, of course, LeBron James really struggling from the line this year. They also rank 16th in defensive three-point percentage on the road. This Lakers squad failed to cover against Indiana, Atlanta, and Miami in those failures to cover. And their offense is averaging just 101 points per contest in their last 2 games. Now, Milwaukee, on the other side, they are first in scoring, second in offensive field goal percentage, first in offensive rebounding. They've successfully covered the point spread in 7 out of their last 9. They're also 13-2 straight up at home, 23-4 straight up when favored. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 13 points per contest, 32 points per game, 13 rebounds, 5 assists on average for the Greek Freak. Chris Middleton, 18 points a game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists for him. And Brook Lopez, 10 points a game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists for Brook. This Milwaukee squad ranks in the top 3 in defensive field goal percentage as well. They're also in the top 3 in home scoring, top 3 in home offensive rebounding. They're scoring 122 points per contest on average at home. They're also shooting 49% from the field in the friendly confines. This Milwaukee squad is 24-4 straight up overall for the year. Now, 3 out of the Lakers' last 4 games did stay under the total. They're also 9-7 in the under when traveling. I'm going to purchase the half a point, buy it down, and take Milwaukee -4 and the under 225 in that game. Before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines of personal leans out for Thursday's NBA action. Happy Thursday to you. The weekend is one day away. We're almost here. Now, before we go ahead and dive into some more premium free picks here on YouTube, I just want to quickly remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage, where once again we are 7-2 in our last 9 premium picks on that website. We're also a perfect 4-0 straight up in our last 4 daily best plays on that site. That's just a $1.99 per month subscription. And we're also 5-3 in our last 8 daily double picks on that website. That's a $2.99 per month subscription. We do daily premium picks on that site, beginning at just $1.99 per month. We have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. And at the end of this upload, I will explain to you the difference between what I do here on YouTube and that Patreon channel. Now, if you want to check out my current Patreon record for free, you can do that right now. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. It's right on the homepage, and that is patreon.com/BrockPage. All right, let's go ahead and get into some more free lines and personal leans right here on YouTube. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got the Nets taking on the Spurs, 8:30 Eastern tip-off in San Antonio. The Spurs are the 3-point favorite at home, total 219.5. We saw a half a point move towards San Antonio, a movement upward on the total. The Spurs opened 2.5 up to -3. Total opened 219 up to 219 and a hook. 53% are leaning Spurs, 62% shaded toward the over. Right now the Nets are plus $1.35 on the money line. Now Brooklyn has been victorious in 6 out of their last 9 games, where they went 7-2 against the spread in those 9. They rank in the top 3 in offensive rebounding, top 5 in defensive field goal percentage. They're also 7-6 straight up as the dog, so doing very well catching plus money. Definitely in the black for their backers on the money line. And offensively, they're averaging 112 points per contest. Spencer Dinwiddie, 21 points a game, 6 assists for him. Joe Harris, 15 points per contest, 4 rebounds for Joe. And Jared Allen, 12 points a game, 11 rebounds on average for Brooklyn. This Brooklyn squad has outright victories over Philadelphia, Denver, and Boston within their last 9 contests. They rank in the top 10 in road scoring, top 3 in road offensive rebounding, and they're just 4 games back of first place in the Atlantic Division. Would not have thought that after their very slow start. Now, San Antonio, on the other side, they rank in the bottom 5 in points allowed, bottom 5 in offensive rebounding. They're just 10-16 straight up overall for the year, 7.5 games back in the Southwest Division. They failed to cover against the likes of Phoenix, Cleveland, and Sacramento in their last 3 failures to cover. They're also just 7-19 against the spread overall for the year. I think that puts them at the worst covering team in the association. They're at least amongst the worst covering teams in the NBA. They've also failed to cover in 11 out of their 14 games at home. Now, defensively, they're allowing 115 points per contest on their home court, and they're also ranking the bottom 10 in defensive rebounding in front of their home crowd as well. San Antonio, 60% to the under in their last 10. Brooklyn, 6 out of their last 8 stayed under the number themselves. They're also 16-11 to the under overall for the year. I'm going to lean toward the road dog in this one. Give me the Nets +3 and the under 219.5 in that game. And I'm going to slide to my next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Rockets taking on the Clippers. 10:30 Eastern tip-off at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. The Clippers are the 5-point favorite at home, total at 234. Now we saw a half a point fade of the Clippers and movement upward on the total. Los Angeles opened 5.5, down to -5. Total open 232, up to 234. 56% of the consensus are leaning toward LA. 52% shaded toward the under. And right now the Rockets are +$2 on the money line. Now Houston kind of struggling against the point spread as of late. As a matter of fact, they failed to cover in 5 out of their last 6. They rank in the bottom 10 in field goal percentage, bottom 10 in three-point percentage. They failed to cover against the likes of San Antonio, Detroit, Cleveland, Sacramento, and Phoenix in those 5 failures to cover. So they failed to cover against those teams within their last 6 games. They also rank in the bottom 10 in points allowed, bottom 10 in offensive rebounding. They're allowing 116 points per contest when traveling. They're also just 12 and 15 against the spread overall for this season. They're ranking bottom 5 in points allowed on the road, bottom 10 in defensive field goal percentage on the road. Meanwhile, the Clippers on the other side, completely different story. Winners in 7 out of their last 9. They also successfully covered the point spread in 7 out of those 9 games. They're in second place in the Pacific Division, 21-8 straight up on the year, and they are an impressive 14-1 straight up at the Staples Center. Kawhi Leonard's averaging 26 points a game, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Paul George, he's right behind him. 25 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals as well for PG3. Lou Williams on the other side for the Clippers. He's averaging 20 points a game, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. Did I say PG3? Weird. Anyway, Paul George having a good year. Lou Williams having a good year as well. Lou Will ranking in the top 5. Lou Will averaging, once again, 20 points a game, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. This LA squad ranks in the top 5 in scoring, top 3 in offensive rebounding. They're averaging 117 points per contest on their home court. They're also ranking in the top 3 in defensive field goal percentage, and they rank first in home offensive rebounding. Now 5 out of the Clippers' last 8 stayed under the total. They're also 10-5 to the under at home. Meanwhile, 5 out of Houston's last 7 stayed under the number themselves. They are 9-4 to the under when traveling. I'm going to lean toward the home chalk in this one. Give me the Clippers -5 and the under 234 in that game. And of course, now is the time in the show where we slide into our quick pick recap. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are 7-2 in our last 9 picks on that website. We're also a perfect 4-0 in our last 4 daily best plays on that site. And that's just $1.99 per month. I like the Clippers -5, under 234. Brooklyn +3, under 219.5. Milwaukee -4, under 225. And last but certainly not least, I like Utah -6.5 and the under 224 and a hook in that game. All right, let's go ahead and dive into our shout-outs. Once again, brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are 5-3 in our last 8 daily double picks on that website. Shout out to Real Hicks for Love, Justin McCrory, R.T. Mason, Tom Niemiller, Billy Boogaloo, Dirk Diggler, Darnell Owens, 88 LaRon, Vernon Williard, Evil Dax, Patrick Cortez, Joe Me the Money, Blacks Blazer, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to Square 707 Steam PS4. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on my website, on Patreon, where we do daily premium picks on that site, beginning at just $1.99 per month. We also have a bunch of different memberships, tiers, and packages that you can subscribe to. Once again, we are 7-2 in our last 9 picks on that website. And we've gone 4-0 in our last 4 daily best plays on that site as well. Guys, you're probably wondering, well, why would I pay for Patreon when I got all the picks for free right here on YouTube? Well, that's fine and dandy, but what we do here on YouTube is we handicap every game on the board, both the side and the total. Now, if you were to bet your hard-earned money that way on every single game, side and total in real life, you're guaranteed to lose all of your money. The math is against you. The books are too sharp. The books are too smart. They have too much money. They can withstand the swings. You cannot bet every single game on the board and expect to win in the long run. And as a matter of fact, you're probably going to end up losing in the short run as well. So what we do on Patreon is we really narrow it down and focus in on 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're high percentage selections, games that I personally have action on. Like I said, 7-2 in our last 9 premium picks on that site. And, well, I'll tell you this much. My current record on Patreon is a whole lot better than it is handicapping every single game on the board, side and total, here on YouTube. And you can actually check out my current record for free on Patreon right now. It's right on the homepage. All you have to do is click the link in the description section below. That is patreon.com/BrockPage. But most importantly, guys, I do have to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Thursday to you. Oh, I'm sorry. Now's the time in the show where we dive into our Spanish edition, also known as Edición en Español. Yo tengo Clippers -5 y los bajos. Brooklyn con puntos y los bajos. Milwaukee -4 y los bajos. Y final, Utah -6.5 y los bajos. Gracias por todo. Buenos días. That's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon, but most importantly, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. Happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you again on patreon.com/BrockPage.